People just freak out about it and they just go wild. And I'm just like, yeah, like I'm just over here living my best life, saving time, not sitting on toilets, pooping, doing literally any single thing I want to do in my life. And oh yeah, I have the cleanest butt because there's literally no hole.
Sara Levitt from Montreal, Canada embraces life with an ostomy in a way that challenges expectations while celebrating her individuality. Her journey began at 3.
I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I was constantly crying. I had blood in my stool, poop. I was not eating, and I was put on medication. My condition was pretty much managed and controlled throughout.
In March of 2006, Sara's condition worsened, leading to a Crohn's disease diagnosis. Crohn's disease is an inflammatory disease. It causes swelling and irritation in the digestive tract, according to the Mayo Clinic.
And that's what really started, the worst 2 years of my condition. Started experiencing excruciating stomach pains, was not wanting to eat, multiple, bowel movements a day, literally like living on the toilet, blood in the poop. I lived in chronic pain. I was in and out of the hospital. 11, 12 years old, had to learn how to insert my own NG nose tube for feeding because I was so severely underweight, so malnourished. Really just struggling every single day. The pain associated with Crohn's disease and colitis is often overlooked, and people often think of these diseases as, just the pooping disease, but, it's so much more than that. As much as it's a physical disease, vision problems, there's skin problems, there's liver problems as well, bone problems associated to the long-term steroid use and medication use. And this is all something I experienced. I, developed compression fractures in my spinal cord along the journey as well.
Her mental health was also affected.
This is not something where traditionally you're openly talking about, like, oh, I took a pill. Oh, like I need to go take a pill, Now you have like a disease that technically revolves around it. So the stigma associated to that, pushes us into feeling a little bit, shy, embarrassed, nervous, what are the opinions gonna be? So we typically kind of, often resort to living on our own in isolation.
It got to a point where Sara couldn't maintain her lifestyle.
My body was just not even able to continue working. There was risk of my intestines, breaking and rupturing inside of me. I was, not even I didn't have any quality of life, in constant pain and just not able to live.
In 2008, Sara needed emergency ostomy surgery. She was 13 years old.
Your life depends on this. It was never something I wanted. The surgeons are essentially rerouting your digestive system. They're detaching your intestine from your rectum, which is the last piece of your digestive system, your booty hole, essentially. They bring the intestine out to the abdomen. A little piece of the intestine sticks out, which is referred to as the stoma. And then you have a medical appliance, which is a bag that, attaches to your stomach. And that's where you end up going poop. So you go poo in a bag on your tummy. There's a whole nother new stigma associated to an ostomy, because now besides having Crohn's disease and colitis, which is associated to poo, I now have a bag of poop on me. The body adaptation, the life adaptation, the confidence, the self-esteem, all of these are so highly affected when you get ostomy surgery. Being 13 years old, it's like prime puberty age. I had, a moon face from prednisone. I just wanted to, be in school with my friends, enjoy life, date, go to parties, all of that. And, I missed out completely on all of that. I woke up and I remember sliding I always say my right hand down my hospital gown, in post-op and, praying for some miraculous reason that, I'm not waking up with this bag. But sure enough, there it was. And, the adaptation to ostomy life started.
So what is an ostomy bag?
I use a 2-piece system. What that means is you have the part that sticks to your stomach, the adhesive is called the wafer or the flange, and then you have the bag. They attach, it's called a coupling system. It's kind of like the concept of a Tupperware. So I have the flange that sticks to me, and then I have the bag that attaches to it. My bag that I wear is a drainable bag, so it rolls up and closes, and then it closes with kind of like I kind of say like Ziploc, but it's like it closes like there's a closure on it, and basically throughout the day it fills up. My stoma is going. I do not have control over my bowel movements. I do not have a sphincter muscle like the booty holes do. Kind of just comes out most of the time. I do not feel it. I will only feel it if I eat something that doesn't agree with me. Once I swallowed an olive pit, do not recommend. And I literally felt the pit like pistol out of me. I was like, oh my God, what was that? But in terms of changing it, it really depends on every ostomate. The same way somebody would go to the toilet, sit down, and take a poop through their booty. I save a lot of time because I just sit down, unravel my bag, empty it. I use toilet paper, clean the end of the bag, roll it back up, and I'm off. It's really based on each person.
Sara kept her condition secret for 15 years.
Why am I going to tell everybody? I'm just going to be selective with telling my closest friends that needed to know, my family. There was even times when I started dating that I would keep it a secret from my partners. I'd have sexual occasions and I wouldn't even, tell them. I would do, I'd be flipping the bag up, keeping a sweater on around my waist or a tank top and, telling them if you want this to happen. I have scars, I've had surgery, very in like a nonchalant way, not giving too many details. I didn't have anybody that I could relate to. I didn't have anybody that I could look up to and be like, oh my God, wow, she's like me and she's doing that and she looks like that and she achieved that. And, this whole concept of, body positivity and diversity and inclusion, they did not exist back then.
Things shifted in her 20s.
I was able to return to school. My pain was gone. I was able to eat. I was able to live. There's no going back. Your bag will be with you for life. Okay, well now it's with me. So I'm going to promise to myself, I don't know when I'm going to be fully comfortable with it, fully confident with it, but I'm going to do every single thing to get to that point.
September 2023, on her 29th birthday, she decided to share her ostomy journey publicly.
And I felt comfortable for the first time to share my story. My content just naturally kind of evolved and my confidence grew even further through that journey. It's continued to grow. I continued to get, super comfortable with areas of ostomy life, like when, Liv, my ostomy, she's named Liv. Liv means life in Swedish. So it's just all about me and Liv living our best lives and, taking a poop while doing everything, like doing this interview, probably taking a poop right now. And we love that.
She uses humor and eye-catching captions in her social media content while educating people to her lifestyle.
Growing up, and I always had a sense of humor. I was always the friend that was looked at as, she's witty, she's quick on her feet, she's comical. There's new people I meet, there's new eyes on me. There will always be a level of like, ooh, I'm nervous, anxious, someone's gonna ask about it. I approach it with full confidence and, full pride.
Sara is comfortable with sharing everything, even how her anatomy works.
The whole topic of, me not having a booty hole, and an ostomate like myself is referred to as a Barbie butt because the booty don't function. There's no exit. A lot of people will always say like, well, when you say you have no booty hole, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, there's literally no booty hole. The surgery essentially is they go in, they remove a stump, which is the rectum, and they sew. There is a scar. So essentially, if you were to take, the buttocks, cheeks, and spread them a little bit, there is no hole. It is literally sewn up. We embrace it. And I always say, I've got the cleanest behind in the game because there's literally no hole. Squeaky clean like Mr. Clean's head.
She's also open about going number 2.
How it works and that it's constantly going. I don't have control over it. If I'm in a plane and I'm sitting next to a stranger, I could be taking a poop in the air. Who knows? So it's really fun to be able to, pack humor into it. It's something that helps me, I've learned to navigate these conversations and use humor. And it's something that has made it a little bit less challenging for me.
Sara's openness has opened doors to a new successful career.
It's just so beautiful to see that the modeling industry and the media industry is finally noticing us and, making space for us and choosing to work with individuals like us because it is so important for a brand becoming an advocate for ostomates and chronic illness warriors, and walking New York Fashion Week and being in Maxim Australia magazine with my bag out. In no way was that my goal. I did not dream of a little kid of doing this, but it's such a passion to me because I was that little girl that needed to see that, needed to know that there were others like me, needed to know that you can do these things, that you can, be strong and fierce and beautiful inside and out, that you can be accomplished, that you can travel, that you can date, that you can dress like this, regardless of these differences.
Now that Sara's Crohn's and colitis are under control, and she's in a better place mentally, her focus is to keep raising awareness and keep being awesome.
I don't want to stop. I will never stop. I want everybody in the world to know what an ostomy is. I don't want any little girl, little boy, or anybody else, that has an ostomy to ever experience, the fear and the stigma and the pain associated to living in isolation and feeling ashamed of who you are. Ashamed of something that literally is the reason why you're living. And I'm just so grateful to be able to, help others now, improve their mindset and shift their mindset and, get to this side of ostomy life.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.